I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, today we're reading from the book of Acts, chapter 25. Let's focus on verses 24 through 26. And Festus said, King Agrippa, and all who are present with us, you see this man, about whom the whole Jewish people petitioned me, both in Jerusalem and here, shouting that he ought not to live any longer. But I found that he had done nothing deserving of death. As he himself appealed to the emperor, I decided to go ahead and send him, but I have nothing definite to write to my Lord about him. Therefore, I've brought him before you, King Agrippa, so that after we examined him, I might have something to write. Have you ever tried to share the hope of Jesus with a stranger? Because it can really be uncomfortable sometimes because you never know how people are going to react. Sometimes people get angry. Other times they're ready to follow Jesus right there on the spot. And sadly, most believers aren't prepared for either scenario. You know, evangelism can be a lot like shark fishing. In shark fishing, there's two questions. Number one, how am I going to catch a shark? And number two, what am I going to do with a shark in my boat? Flopping around trying to bite me. And Paul saw a wide variety of responses whenever he shared the gospel. Many people believed, and then the church as we know it was born. But other people wanted to kill Paul. The Roman governor Felix protected Paul, but his real desire was for Paul's money, or that money from Paul's supporters would be given as a bribe. And then enter this new Roman governor, Festus. Festus inherited the problem of Paul from his predecessor. Stuck between politics and principles, Festus was such a weak leader that he needed a committee to tell him how to even accuse Paul. The great message of today's passage is that Festus could not find anything wrong with Paul's character, his politics, or even his theology. Could the same be said of you? You know, a few years ago, I wrote a song for my band Big Tent Revival, and it went to #1 on the Christian radio charts. It posed this question: if loving God was a crime, would you be an outlaw? Would there be enough evidence in your life to convict you of being a Christian? And this was really Festus's dilemma with accusing Paul. It was the Babylonians' officials' dilemma whenever they were trying to accuse Daniel, if you remember. They couldn't find any fault in his character, so they had to make loving God against the law. So, does your life honor God in such a way that your accusers couldn't even find any evidence of worldliness, so they would be forced to either leave you alone or to make your devotion to the Lord illegal? You know, a Christian like that would be unstoppable with the gospel. And that's really who we are each called by God to be. And now, God wants you to be that person. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And yes, we do need your monthly support. Now more than ever, donating is secure and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. You know, another way to help is just tell people about Groundworks Ministries. Share these podcasts with your friends and family and on your social media. And of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.